Across the vast American landscape, a silent crisis unfolds. Water, the lifeblood of cities, is vanishing. In these 10 cities, the threat is not just thirst, but the collapse of entire communities. This is a story not of distant deserts, but of thriving urban centers teetering on the edge, where the relentless advance of modern life collides with the immutable laws of nature. As reservoirs shrink and rivers dwindle, the rhythm of daily existence grows increasingly precarious. Homes rise by the thousands, yet each new foundation draws from a source that grows ever more uncertain. The very ground beneath our feet, once taken for granted, is now a stage for a profound drama, one that unfolds quietly, yet with consequences that are anything but silent. Tonight, we journey into the heart of America's water crisis. We will witness not only parched earth and empty reservoirs, but the quiet anxiety in neighborhoods, the hidden threat to homes, and the enduring resilience of those who remain. Let us begin this exploration and consider what is at stake for ourselves and for generations yet to come. If you want to stay informed about critical issues like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth stories that matter. In the heart of the Sonoran Desert, Phoenix emerges from the dust, a testament to human ambition. Here, the relentless sun beats down upon shimmering rooftops, and the city reaches ever outward, claiming the arid land. Yet, beneath this outward confidence, a tension grows. The reservoirs that once fed this expansion now shrink under the weight of demand and drought. The Colorado River, once mighty, struggles to meet the needs of a city whose homes seem to multiply without end. As new developments rise, residents cast wary eyes toward the horizon. Wells dip deeper, lawns turn brown. Each day, the question becomes more urgent. Can Phoenix's promise of prosperity endure when water is no longer assured? The housing market here is an uneasy gamble. As the lifeblood of the city, its water becomes an ever more precious commodity. In Phoenix, survival is a daily negotiation with the desert itself. Media keywords: aerial view of Phoenix suburbs, sun-blasted desert, shrinking canal, construction sites, brown lawns. Las Vegas, a city born from the impossible, shimmers against the desert, its neon glow a defiant challenge to the arid land. Yet, the source of its vitality, Lake Mead, recedes, revealing ghostly shorelines and long-submerged secrets. The spectacle of fountains and pools masks a growing uncertainty, as the city's water supply dwindles and the future becomes as unpredictable as a roll of dice. Beneath the glamour, residents and officials alike face tough choices. Water restrictions tighten, lawns and golf courses surrender to the dust. As Lake Mead's bathtub ring rises, so does apprehension. Can Las Vegas continue to thrive, or is the city itself a mirage on the brink of vanishing? For many, the dream of desert living is slowly colliding with the stark reality of scarcity. At night, the Las Vegas Strip glows, but out beyond the lights, Lake Mead is shrinking, the water levels dropping year after year. Signs warn of restrictions, fountains sit empty, and you can just feel the tension between the city's dreams and the hard truth of the desert. Los Angeles just seems to go on forever, you know? It's this huge city, all built on the idea that there'd always be enough for everyone. But really, its lifeblood comes from mountains and rivers far away, pulled in through aqueducts that run for hundreds of miles. That used to feel like a marvel, but now it's starting to look a little shaky, since those water sources are running low. The city keeps growing, always thirsty, reaching farther and farther, but nature's limits are catching up. Reservoirs drop, snowpacks don't last, and folks start to notice. Lawns go brown, and people start talking about water rationing. Even the housing market, always chasing the next big thing, is starting to wonder. Will there be enough water for all these new homes? In Los Angeles, that old dream of endless opportunity is running up against a new reality. Nature's boundaries aren't going anywhere. You see it all around. Los Angeles stretching out, aqueducts snaking across the desert, reservoirs sitting empty, and lawns turning dry and brittle. It's a reminder that even in a place built on abundance, there are limits we just can't ignore. San Antonio draws its strength from beneath the earth, its existence tied to the ancient waters of the Edwards Aquifer. For generations, this hidden reservoir has sustained life above, but now its levels fluctuate with alarming uncertainty. The city's expansion pushes ever outward and, each new neighborhood taps into a resource that cannot be easily replenished. As groundwater drops, the community feels a quiet anxiety. Water restrictions ebb and flow, gardens wither, and the specter of scarcity looms over future development. Here, the connection between water and home is intimate. When the aquifer falters, so too does the promise of security. San Antonio is a city on the edge, where each drop counts, and the balance between growth and survival is delicately poised. Aerial views reveal the vastness of San Antonio, while below the Edwards Aquifer weaves silently beneath neighborhoods, dry creek beds, and suburban homes. The connection between the land and its water is, honestly, more personal than most folks realize. At the foot of the Rockies, Denver stands as a gateway between mountain wilderness and urban ambition. For generations, the city depended on the generous melt of winter snows, which once fed rivers and reservoirs. Now those gifts are less certain. Changing patterns bring less snow, earlier melts, and rivers that struggle to fulfill the city's growing needs. In Denver, the tension between growth and nature is palpable. Subdivisions rise, but water rights become fiercely contested. Residents watch the skies, hoping for snow that may not come. As the safety net of abundant water frays, the housing market feels the strain. Each new home a question mark in a future shaped by drought and uncertainty. The city's prosperity, so long tied to the rhythms of nature, now faces an unpredictable future. Denver sits at the crossroads of change, where the skyline meets the distant mountains. Melting snowpack feeds low rivers, while suburban development stretches further out, testing the limits of what the land can offer. Salt Lake City, the cradle of a unique landscape, stands watch over the shrinking expanse of the Great Salt Lake. Once a shimmering inland sea, the lake recedes year by year, revealing barren lake beds and clouds of dust. The city, long shaped by its proximity to water, now faces an uneasy future as its namesake vanishes before its eyes. This transformation is not merely aesthetic. The retreating lake threatens air quality, undermines habitats, and heightens anxiety about long-term water supply. As new homes rise across the valley, residents wonder if the city's growth can continue in the face of such profound change. In Salt Lake City, the struggle is not only for water, but for the very identity of a place shaped by its relationship with the land and lake. The receding Great Salt Lake brings dust storms that sweep over suburban homes and stretch across the salt flats, leaving folks to wonder what will become of this place they call home. Nestled along the Rio Grande, Albuquerque is a city defined by its relationship with water. The river, so vital to life in the high desert, is stretched thin by drought and demand. Here, the challenge is to balance growth with a fragile ecosystem. Each new development a test of the land's capacity to sustain it. Water conservation measures are woven into daily routines, and yet the pressure mounts as the city grows. Wells reach deeper, river flows dwindle, and the specter of scarcity shapes the future of neighborhoods. For many, the dream of life in Albuquerque is now shadowed by uncertainty. Can the city continue to expand without tipping the delicate balance that has sustained it for generations? Rio Grande Aerial View, water conservation signs, dry riverbed, suburban expansion. In California's Central Valley, Fresno stands as the heart of America's breadbasket. The land here is fertile, but its bounty depends on an ever-precarious supply of water. As drought deepens, wells run dry, first in rural communities, then in suburban neighborhoods. Fields lie fallow, and homes stand empty, abandoned by those who can no longer find water. For Fresno, this crisis is both economic and existential. The promise of prosperity, rooted in the soil, is now threatened by the relentless advance of drought. The housing market, once buoyed by dreams of growth, now faces the grim reality of water scarcity. In Fresno, each empty well is a reminder of how quickly abundance can give way to abandonment. Tucson, a city born of desert resilience, now finds itself in a race against time. As temperatures climb and rainfall falters, the city's wells and reservoirs struggle to keep pace with demand. Each day, the threat of running dry becomes more tangible. Community leaders scramble to secure new sources, while residents adapt to a future where water is anything but certain. The specter of scarcity hangs over Tucson's neighborhoods. Gardens wither, pools lie empty, and the city's famed cacti stand as silent witnesses to a changing world. In Tucson, the question is not if the taps will run dry, but when. The race is on, not just to preserve water, but to preserve the very fabric of the community itself. On the edge of Texas, where the desert meets the Rio Grande, El Paso has always known the value of water. Now, as drought tightens its grip, the city wages a daily battle to maintain its lifeline. The river, so long a source of connection and sustenance, grows feeble, its waters divided, its promise uncertain. Residents adapt with ingenuity, but anxiety lingers. Water restrictions become routine, and the city's planners search desperately for alternatives: desalination, recycling, conservation. For El Paso, the threat is not just to homes, but to a way of life that has endured for generations. As the wells run low, the question resounds: how much longer can the city endure, and what must be sacrificed to survive? Across these 10 cities, the story of water is a story of survival, of ambition shadowed by uncertainty, of communities striving to endure in the face of a vanishing lifeline. Each city, in its own way, stands at a crossroads. The choices made now, by city leaders, by residents, by all who call these places home, will determine whether these landscapes continue to thrive or become silent reminders of what we once took for granted. For every drop saved, for every policy changed, the hope endures that balance can be restored. Yet, the path forward is uncertain, fraught with difficult decisions and the ever-present specter of scarcity. The fabric of these communities is woven with resilience, but even the strongest threads can fray when stretched too far. In these cities, the story is not yet finished. The choices made today will echo for generations. Will we find a way to restore balance, Or will these landscapes become silent monuments to what was lost? The answer lies not in the distant future, but in the decisions we make, together, right now.